I hope you guys enjoyed some of that preliminary information on both the 18 Bronzemen and the 36 Chamber of Shaolin. Of course, as I said, very preliminary information because there's so many subtleties that go into making these Kung Fu films that we could probably have triple or quadruple the length of the previous section of video. So it's going to be some people who know more, and they're going to add in the comments about different little aspects of the video. But my reasoning was to give just a general overview of both films. Now, I must say, in regards to 18 Bronzemen, that I actually initially back in the day was not a fan of the film, and I think after I saw some cuts of the film that were better quality, I became more of a fan of the film, because I got to see, and this is just my preference, I got to see the sets, pieces, how the colors were vibrant, and a more cinematic experience watching it. So it kind of made me pay attention more to the subtleties of the plot. What's interesting to me about the 18 Bronzemen and the 36 Chamber is the 18 Bronzemen, made in 1975 but released in Taiwan late 75, early 76, in Hong Kong in 76, and some sources even say 79. But you know, a couple years before Lau Kar Leung did the 36 Chamber. Now, while these stories are typical of the Shaolin temple being a refuge for the pro-Ming patriots and the training and the revenge, it's just very interesting that, you know, the training sequences, various training and challenge in the temple sequences of both movies play such a prominent role. As we know, the 36 Chamber, I mean, that is, as many critics have said, Lau Kar Leung's love letter to Kung Fu movies, with the arduous training that Liu Yute uses to transform himself into Santer, the monk of the 36 Chamber. And, you know, in pop culture, we've Wu-Tang raps and everything, and other rap songs and other references. We've had a lot of use of Santer, or the 36 Chamber of Shaolin, which I think is great. The 18 Bronzemen, though, in my opinion, deserves some recognition, because the whole mystery of these bronzemen, which to me are funny, that it's dudes actually painted bronze, and you know, the whole Shaolin wooden men or bronzemen thing, as we saw in the Jackie Chan 76 film Shaolin wooden men, as they were mechanical wooden men, which, you know, is an interesting entry into this kind of gadget-based kung fu movie, where the protagonists have to face these tests before they leave the temple. And Santer's test was the other monk, I forget his name, but played by Lee Hoi San. I just remember him being called Senior Monk, and he had to face his challenge, and ultimately creating the three-sectional staff to overcome his butterfly, or his I call them butterfly knives. His butterfly knives, reminiscent of Wing Chun knives to me, but so I call them butterfly knives. So these films had a lot in common, and I want to say, of course, the great late Lau Kar Leung deserves all the accolades he gets and more in his kung fu direction and his kung fu choreography. But I think with the release of the cinematic, with the release of the Joseph Kuo film set by Eureka, that maybe Joseph Kuo will start to get some more love from more mainstream kung fu fans who may not have seen some of his Taiwanese movies. But I think 18 Bronzemen is a good entry. It is by no means a perfect movie, but I think it did highlight the strengths of stars like Carter Wong, who plays this very intense monk Brother Wan, with his solid real life kung fu shapes in there, and Tian Ping playing sort of he achieves some kung fu, but of course it's not up on the level, in my opinion, of Brother Wan in the movie. But he's more there for the acting, and that we've seen him doing a lot of wuxia movies. And you have the great Pali Shan Quan, which is another thing that differs the 18 Bronzemen from 36 Chambers, a strong female presence. When Brother Wan and Tang leave Shaolin, and they run into Miss Lou in the restaurant, which is not a scene that you had in 36 Chamber, where it was more about the monks and then them eventually opening up and getting lay disciples in the end frame, where Santerre's training some of the guys he recruited who were going to be famous Kung Fu masters in their own right. 18 Bronzemen has a sequel, 18 Bronzemen 2, which is a sequel in name to me only, because it does include the Bronzemen, but it's a different story. Whereas, much like 36 Chamber actually has a sequel, Return to the 36 Chamber, which is kind of a comic kung fu comedy take on a guy pretending to be Santerre and going to the temple, actually training under Santerre and coming back to help his friends with some Manchurians in the dye factory. You know, and then we have another sequel to, more of a direct sequel, in my opinion, to 36 Chamber, which is Disciples of the 36 Chamber, which sees Gordon Liu reprise his role as Santerre and Sha Ho taking on the role of Fang Siyu in that movie. So, purpose of Saturday Showdown is to just kind of give overviews and opinions on the movies that came out at a certain time, around a certain time, or have a similar theme. And I think that both 18 Bronzemen and 36 Chamber have a place in the pantheon of Shaolin-based movies. But I would like to see 18 Bronzemen get a little bit more love, particularly that when Eureka released the new 4K scans of these, because I think it in the dubbing is, if you watch a dub like I do, the old school dubbing is more clear to hear. You actually get a different viewing experience, similar to the theater, not exactly, but similar to the theater. And we know the 36 Chamber, rightfully so, is lauded as one of the greatest kung fu movies ever filmed, and I think it should stay there. But I also think the 18 Bronzemen needs to be in a conversation about a very good kung fu movie directed by Joseph Kuo and released by his Honghua International Films. That's a great entry into the Shaolin pro-Ming Shaolin revenge thrillers of kung fu movies. Of course, we got Lau Kar Leung doing the fight choreography on 36 Chamber, which I don't think I really need to go into. The training sequences highlight most of the movie, and the fight sequences were what I expect from Lau Kar Leung. Great kung fu. We got John Chung as one of the Manchurian generals that gets taken out by Santerre. We got the great Wilson Tong as one of the more sadistic Manchu generals or lords in the movie, and of course he has a fight scene with Gordon Liu in the graveyard. So very good on that. But then on the other side, we got 18 Bronzemen, whose choreography is done by Chan Su Pang, who I did a tribute Thursday on. So if you want to know a little bit more about Chan Su Pang, go to my channel and type in Tribute Thursday Chan Su Pang, or no, I think it's Unsung Heroes of Kung Fu Chan Su Pang, and then Tribute Thursday of Cliff Lowe, who's the other action choreographer, along with Wong Fei Long, who's actually plays a evil general in the movie and has been a choreographer of many of the Taiwanese kung fu movies. So a little different choreography, of course, than the 36 Chamber, but still very good, as I expect from Chan Su Pang and Chan Su Pang, excuse me, Cliff Lowe, and Wong Fei Long. So Carter Wong does an excellent job. I think this is one of Carter Wong's better films, along with Born Invincible, where he does a great job as the stern Brother Wan and shows his solid kung fu in this movie. And so leave a comment, leave comments. What do you like about each film? If you have a favorite among the two, please leave that in the comments. If you have any other information regarding the film that I may have omitted, left out, or otherwise don't know, please leave that in the comments too. Again, this is 12th Venom Gary Williams coming to you for another Saturday Showdown. This time it's the 18 Bronzemen versus 36 Chamber of Shaolin. So I will see you guys later. Peace.